Welcome to Deadlands Dime Novels, The Adventures of Young and Holt, Issue 41, Off the Rails. I'm your narrator, Ernest Wick, intrepid reporter for the Tombstone Epitaph. In this issue, well, we left off with Porter about to tell Joshua what sounded like something important. I hope he gets it off his chest before the trouble starts. Because you know trouble is about to start. Well, we don't want to keep Porter's confession waiting, so time to see where his heart is at.
So Porter just kind of sits down on the bench and says, Joshua.
Well, before you start, I think there's something I need to tell you.
There's something I need to tell you, too?
Alright, so I'm going to play Opportunity Lost card, as I just lost my opportunity to apologize for everything, and now you can do your thing. So, yeah, you've got something to tell me. I can see you're upset right now, so mine can wait. Go ahead.
It's not upset. It's just after Deadwood and the demons that consume demons that happened there. I think since it never really came up before, and I didn't really have a handle on it before, so I didn't really bring all I had to the table, so to speak. May have been hiding my hand a slight bit.
But it's okay. You play cards the way you want to play cards.
But after what happened and the everything that happened, I think it's probably better if you know what I have up my sleeve. In general.
Those little guns, right?
Well, yeah. Are they really that obvious? So, Porter kind of looks around the room. So it's just the benches and the little bunk things. Is there like a closet or anything? Is there...
There probably is something underneath the bench where you could stow your like extra gear or whatnot.
Like a trunk?
Yeah.
Is there a window in there?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to... Is it the blinds for the window, I'm assuming?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm going to pull down the blind on the window. Door is closed.
Yeah, it's a little slidey wooden door.
Yeah, I'll close it. So,
Joshua's getting a little uncomfortable, starts packing a pipe.
Just bear with me for a moment, Joshua. And I'll do a quick demonstration. So Porter hops up on the bench and climbs up into the bunk and pulls the curtain closed, and he's going to use teleport. And he's going to teleport to the other bunk.
Okay. And I won't even make you roll for this. We'll just say that it works. I mean, are you going to deal for it, or are you going to...
No. I'm spending the PowerPoints for this.
Are you sure? Because the voice might whisper to you saying, look, I'll let you just do this for free. This is important.
That only makes my decision even that more important. And as long as I don't fail the roll. Or you're going to let me do it?
Because this is dramatically important, so I'll let you succeed automatically.
So Porter pulls the curtain closed, and I'm just gonna say the curtain was closed on Joshua's bunk, just for hiding it, and then he opens it from Joshua's bunk and sort of slides himself out. Ta-da!
Joshua is standing, just lit his pipe.
In the middle of the room, I'm assuming.
Yeah, standing in the middle of the room. This happens, and he takes a couple of puffs on his pipe, sits down, and just kind of stares at you, lets out a little bit of a long sigh, not losing eye contact with you.
Porter's just standing there with his hands up in the sort of ta-da motion.
And it's right. And the expression on his face isn't one of anger or rage, but this careful consideration and like almost the face that you've seen when he's planned things and he's like kind of deep in thought, right? Well, that's something. How long you been? Is that Annabelle?
What? What do you mean? What?
Now, she did something to you, and you were throwing green somethings around at that five-legged man that we came across. Is this Annabelle's doing?
No. You got this all wrong. No. Annabelle has not. Well, okay. Annabelle has something to do with this, but not in the way you're thinking. See, before I met you, before anything, I've always been. I could hunches. I could find things in my pocket that weren't actually there beforehand. I could. Things tend to miss me when I focus on it. If they're, you know. And it wasn't actually.
Joshua was just gonna hold up his hand, stop Porter, walk over to the little wooden door, open it up.
Porter just kind of froze the moment he said stop.
Looks up and down the hallway, just to make sure no one's around. Closes the little wooden door back. Okay.
Porter sort of unfreezes and keeps going. It was, I mean, in the, do you remember HB?
Yeah.
So, when Annabelle had that, did that thing in the barn, stable, whatever it was, and he did something that essentially blew off her arm, and it wasn't with a gun, and that sort of got me thinking, and I figured out how to do it. That, and he points to the two bunks. That thing, that was Deadwood. That's how I got away from the big thing.
So this condition you got, it's getting worse?
Worse?
You're saying that more things are happening to you?
They're not.
Or you're just doing more things with it?
Yes, I'm able to do more things, yes.
You're welcome.
Porter just kind of freezes for a moment.
I can I can see how this could be scary for you. A lot of folks might just go ahead and put a bullet in your head.
What?
But that's not me, because I've seen
What?
a lot of weird things out there. Now,
Wait. What's this about a bullet in my head?
what you're talking about seems very... Let's see, how did our dinner compatriots put it today? Demonic?
Wait, what? That demonic?
I mean, this isn't natural, and if something's not natural, that makes it unnatural.
He's an old man. He doesn't know what natural is. He's got his own opinion.
Or you mean supernatural?
Joshua leans back a little bit, takes another puff. Now, I can understand this being a little scary and worrisome for you. I can understand the situation that you're in, but I wouldn't go around telling people this, okay?
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. I mean, just like you don't tell people what you can do.
They can pretty much figure it out when they see the guns.
Yeah, but if they knew how good you were with them, I'd think they'd be a little more careful around you in general.
So when you do these things, and the reason you're telling me this now, other than just, as you said, putting all your cards on the table, is this troublesome to you at all?
No, I'm literally putting my cards on the table so you know what I have at my disposal in case something like Deadwood happens again. Because if you knew I could do this stuff, maybe things would have changed.
Sounds like he might not trust you. Sounds like maybe you might be better off alone. Just saying.
Yeah, I think there was a traveling preacher once. God, how did he put it? Something like, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Something like that might be happening here. Maybe this is a blessing.
I'll give him credit there. It is a blessing.
I don't know why you wanted to go to Denver. Other than maybe to help me chase Samuel down in the first place.
Well, you did save my life in Deadwood.
But,
I do owe you quite a bit.
one of the reasons I want to go to Denver. Do you remember the woman who came into the inn at Deadwood, and when we were one of the few times we were sitting together, and I stepped aside to talk to her for a bit?
I kind of vaguely remember her. Wait a minute. Yeah, I remember her.
She, I'm going to Denver to meet with her. She seems to know something that maybe I can get a handle on this a little bit better. And maybe it'll be a great help in taking down Samuel and making sure that Deadwood doesn't happen again.
So you're telling me that there are other people out there that can do the things that you do? HP, Jasmine?
I don't know if she can. I've never seen it. HB, maybe I was seeing things. I was not in a ideal, crystal clear state of mind at the time. Maybe I'm just imagining demons eating demons, like apparently what happened at Deadwood. But Jasmine was her name. She may have introduced herself. She gave me something at Deadwood that, well, I probably wouldn't be alive without it. So, and she told me to come see her in Denver if I had questions. So, I figure in order, Samuel should be caught, and I think me getting a better handle on this would be a good way to do it.
Well, what you're telling me kind of sounds like you found a new type of gun. And when somebody picks up a gun for the first time and they start playing around with it, they got to be careful with it and learn how to use it. So I respect you that you're trying to use it the right way and not just running about firing it.
And I'm looking for someone who can teach me how to shoot it properly. Specifically in Samuel's direction.
Just remember, because I've seen folks in the past, been around young kids that pick up a gun and they feel powerful with it. They feel invincible with it. And because they have it, they walk into situations that it can't get them out of. So I would just say, don't let this change you at a core level, because you're a good person, and as you learn how to use this new gun and find this new courage or new purpose, don't let it change you.
Me? Change me? You have nothing to worry about.
That's right, you've got nothing to worry about.
Well, I must say, you're a little different from when we first met in Albert Lee.
Well, there have been a couple things that have happened since then. Maybe I'm not,
About that.
Let's just catch Samuel.
Yeah. Have a good night, Porter. I think I'll have one more smoke before hitting the hay.
Whatever you, as long as it's not a drink.
Now, you might have noticed I haven't picked up a bottle since Deadwood.
I have noticed. It's been very obvious, in fact.
Joshua reaches into one of his vest pockets and pulls out a small little trinket box. Opens it up, and in the lid is an old photograph. And he spins it around and shows it to Porter. This is Abigail. She's buried just outside Deadwood, and I was reminded of a few things while I was there. So, you hit the hay, and I'm gonna have that smoke now.
Porter will wait till Joshua walks out before saying anything, and it's more to himself. He's like, I thought he hadn't been to Deadwood. Well, I guess he had been drinking a lot. And then he's just gonna climb up into bed.
Joshua's gonna wander the train a little bit, lost in thought, thinking about all the stuff that Porter just laid on him, how that is going to possibly affect things, and kind of get lost in reminiscing of the events in Deadwood again before heading to bed.
You walk around, you do notice a couple of people who were in your passenger car. They are sleeping in the passenger car. They didn't get, a bed car like you did, but you see that they, as you were walking through, you happen to see that they are sleeping. But you're able to go through, and it is a deathly kind of quiet, with the rhythmic moving and sounds of the train. And it's very, very dim in here. Make me a spirit roll, Joshua.
Ha! Low as you can get.
Wow. Okay, that's a low number. Did you? First of all, you both. Yeah. First of all, you both earned another Benny or another fate chip for that lovely little confessional there. I love that. Did you want to re-roll that, Joshua, or are you good with?
Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
Much better.
Very nice. You reach the end of this passenger car, and you go turn around and make your way back to the sleep car. As you turn, the light plays some funny tricks, and you swear that you saw several shadows moving in a way that they shouldn't move, like almost like shadow figures darting from the light into shadows. And your hand instinctively goes immediately for your gun, and you even kind of crouch slightly. But as the train continues to move, you realize, or your mind decides to just chalk it up to the fact that perhaps it was just a trick of the way the car was moving, or it happened to shake a little bit more, or maybe the way the moonlight came in caught something funny, or somebody adjusted themselves. You internally justify it, and whatever shapes you may have thought you saw, you decide that you didn't see them, and that they weren't what they were. And you make your way back to the sleeper car and crawl in, and Porter's already asleep. And you pull the curtain aside and eventually nod off on your own. And the train continues to rumble down the tracks. Sure how much longer later it is, but both of you wake up and you can feel the train slowing down. Slowing, and it's almost as if it's trying to intentionally do it in a very calm and easygoing way, so it's not like a hard-braking sort of situation. You peek outside, you can tell it's definitely still in the middle of the night, so clearly it's not sunrise yet, so you can't be in Denver yet. And your stomach is telling you that no, night hasn't passed, you don't have that familiar rumbling going on. And then eventually the train does come to a complete stop, and you can hear the distant little brake squeak kind of thing, and some steam being released as the train has stopped. What are you going to do?
Porter, you awake?
That's right. Mr. Heavy Sleeper may not have woken up.
Hold on. Oh, let's see. Mr. Heavy Sleeper.
At least this wasn't hearing based.
That's true.
Once he drops off, you must make a notice roll -4 to wake up.
Ooh. You got your answer.
Joshua just shakes his head at the snores, crawls out of the bunk,
That was a -3, by
drops
the
to
way.
the floor. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Drops to the floor as quiet as he can, which being in the upper little bunk in boots wasn't quite that quiet. And he'll just reach through the little curtain there that's probably like a little privacy curtain by the little bunk beds and shake Porter.
Yeah.
He's making noise, put my hand over his mouth. It's like, shh. Get up slow and quiet like. The train stopped for no reason. And then he'll hear the click of my gun as I've drawn it and cocked it.
All right, hold on. I need to make a another notice check that I got everything he said, because if I didn't, I think I'm being robbed right at this moment. Okay, I'm awake enough, apparently, that I managed to... There's a moment where I'm reaching for my gun. Reporter's reaching for his gun. And then he kind of realizes, oh, wait, that's Joshua's voice. Oh.
I'll let go of his mouth, slow, wipe it on my vest.
The train's being robbed?
I don't know.
All right. Can we just lock the door?
It's a flimsy little thing that ain't gonna stop much.
Did you see any good places to hole up?
Nope. But one way in at each end of these cars.
Pull himself out of bed carefully. Kind of lift the curtain of the window to kind of peek out, see if you can see anything.
Let me ask you, looking, if you were to be standing on top of the train and looking towards the engine, would your car, your sleeper car, be on the right or left-hand side of the train?
I'm picturing it on the right side.
Yeah, I would concur with that from my limited actual real train experience.
Make me a notice roll. 4. In the distance, and it's on the edges, so it's definitely something that is in the distance, heading towards the engine of the train. You see this faint, odd orangish glow. It's not very large from this distance, and because you're really straining at it. It's at an angle, so you're only picking up a little bit of it. But it's like this yellow orangish type of glow.
Torch? Was it flickering a lot or was it solid? It might have been a lantern.
I can't tell. It's dark. It's dark, because that really helps when it's a light source. I can't tell. It's dark, okay?
You can't quite tell. It does appear to be a distance away.
Well, I don't think it's good to wait here. Best get somewhere that's a little more open. It's like we're in a barrel.
The dining car, maybe?
Yeah, that or a passenger car.
All right, so you're grabbing your gear and heading towards the passenger or dining car. You get into the passenger car, and Brent, roll me a D6.
Roll a D6, roll a... Best number ever.
1. All right. You get a 1. All right, you come into the passenger car, and there are 2 people standing up in here. One is Zeke, the conductor, and he has his hat off, and he looks a little bit disheveled as far as his clothes are concerned. Shirt's not properly tucked in, vest probably not buttoned all the way. Standing with him, or next to him, and they're talking, is the dude who's in all black that you had noticed before. He's in the process of fixing up his clothes a bit while the 2 of them are talking, and he sees the 2 of you right away. Zeke does. They both actually turn and look at you as you open the door, and he says, "Oh, gentlemen, yes, Actually, this is good. Could you come here, please?
Yep. I'll walk on in. And my gun is still out, but down at my waist.
I'll follow.
Zeke looks a little nervous and a little concerned is on his face, and he says, I'm very sorry. I don't know if the three of you have been introduced. This gentleman, this is John Barnes. He also happened to be awake when the train stopped. Nobody else that I've been able to notice yet is awake. And I'm sorry, I didn't. I can't remember either of your two names.
Joshua and Porter.
Barnes just nods a bit to you, the both of you, as he puts his hat on and kind of adjusts things. He says, Zeke continues, he says, yeah, unfortunately, we've had to stop the train. Up ahead, the engineer noticed a strange glow, and we are very near a town, and he's a little concerned that maybe it may be on fire. We don't know. He decided to stop just on safety's sake in case the fire were to cross over the tracks. That could be dangerous. We can't spare anybody at the moment to go really check things out. I want the engineer to be ready to go here at a moment's notice. I'm going to make sure that all the passengers know what's going on, so I can't leave. And you three easily are more than capable of doing things. Could you... I'm sure that the train station for... And he fumbles in his head just a little bit. It was... what was the name of the town? I'm sorry. He kind of stumbles. Sunrise Flats. Sunrise Flats. That's right. If you three could just go up and the trains, like I said, the train depot station shouldn't be too far up the tracks. Hopefully that glow is something else, maybe further away. Maybe we're back a little further. I don't know. Just to make sure that the town itself is safe. If it is, then by all means, please just come back and report to me, and we'll be right back on our way. If you'd be so kind.
When you say a little ways up the track, walking distance, or do we need to go get our horses?
I can't be sure. The engineer, he knows this area well. He's pretty sure it's within walking distance.
Good enough for me.
All right.
Barnes just says, "That's fine. Let's go." And Zeke lets the three of you out. Gives you a lantern.
I hand the lantern to Porter.
And he points. It should be just right up that way. It's best just to stay on the tracks.
Okay. I'll be in the back, slightly step to the side, so the lantern's shining in front of us.
You begin walking up there, and now you can for sure see it. The orange glow I mentioned earlier. And as you get maybe a quarter mile up the tracks, you can tell that it is not a consistent orange glow. You might see a couple patches of, like, the glow might spark up a bit and then fade out. Then over slightly further to the right of where that one glow had been, there was maybe a couple more glows, or it bubbled up again and then went down. And then maybe a little bit closer, and then it went down again. And so there's always like a little bit going on, but now you're beginning to pick out, like, there might be individual pockets of types of glowing going on.
And I'm sorry, I might have missed it when you said it, but the tracks extend forward, and then what kind of terrain is to the left and the right of the tracks? Right
now it is mostly scrub. There's no real trees and things. There might be just bushes and maybe some rocks and stuff, but you're still kind of in that space between Nebraska and Colorado.
Okay. Any lights in the distance that might be representative of the depot that we're heading towards?
You do see at one point, after you've gone down about another quarter mile, just before you get to the train station, in fact, although this doesn't happen with the train station, you do see, as one of the yellowish orange glows kind of bubbles up you catch a little silhouette of an outline of what might be a building of some sort. You can't make out any sort of details at all, but it kind of cuts the light a bit to show that it's something lighting up behind a building.
Okay. So we don't see any lights like the building itself has any hanging lanterns out, but we just see a shadow flash maybe. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, like I said, you get up about another quarter mile from where you can make out a little bit better details, and then you can see, as your lantern kind of comes into view, the outline of what looks to be like a very simple sort of train station depot. The tracks are running right along there. It's got a building. You can just make out there's enough moonlight coming down combined with your lantern light that you can see the building there. You can see it looks like it's a 2-story thing. There is some windows. Yep, there might be maybe a small water tower sort of thing next to it. There's obviously no... Oh, they actually probably would. You might see telegraph lines coming up to the train station, but you can definitely see, as you're beginning, just at the edge of it, you can see like where the platform is, where the train would normally stop. As you approach, and I'm assuming once that you're able to make out the platform that you guys probably would have stopped at that point.
Yes.
Tracks look fine. We could just, told them to go. We could just ride on by.
I could see that. I have no idea what those lights are. I've seen nothing like that before.
Yeah, and Barnes, neither have I. That doesn't look quite right. And there should always be a porter in that station. I don't see any lights on inside there. That's
Now, is our train going to stop here, or was it planning on just passing through in the night?
I think it was just planning on passing through, but still, there should be. And he gestures up to, and it's hard to make out. He can't quite see in the dark, but he gestures up to somewhere just slightly to the left of the train station. There, at the very least, there should be a swinging light on a pole there. I can't quite. There ain't right now, otherwise we'd be seeing it.
So what I'm hearing from you is you're thinking we should check out that little depot?
At the very least, yeah.
You got the light, Porter.
I do, don't I?
Yeah, you ain't got no gun.
Hey, John, I'll take the right.
Sounds good.
Wait, you're leaving me as the target?
You got the light.
That kind of makes you the target. And he disappears into the darkness.
Porter holds it off to the side even further. Holding his arm up, so if they take a shot at the light, it's not going to hit him. And then he starts walking forward. Please don't be anyone here. Please don't be anyone here.
Getting up a little closer, and Porter, you notice this, I think, before Joshua does, and you can't quite see where Barnes went. You get to the platform, and the light of your lantern illuminates it in a way which you have to almost kind of take a second look at it, but you notice that the floorboards on the platform, they're blackened, as if they had been... You ever notice, like, with wood carving, wood burning, how it blackens the wood as you, write your name or whatever with a little wood burning iron? It has that appearance to it. At least the boards here, the platform, do.
Can I, give it a little kick with my foot and see if it's still...
Stable?
Sturdy?
Sure. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Joshua, where are you at this point in time? I mean, because you're approaching the platform from the right, and you can't see what I just described to Porter, but you can see the platform outlined in the moonlight.
So I'm going to not get up on the wooden platform, but look for a window on the outside that I can look through. Or does the platform run all the way around it?
Platform runs all the way around it, so you can spot the outline of a window, but you would have to get up on the platform to look at it.
Okay, well, I'll do that, but I'll not walk straight onto the window. I'll kind of edge up to it and then peek in. You
hop up onto the platform, and Porter, you go and you kick the platform, and it doesn't it feels fairly solid, but you're definitely certain that it is. As you get closer now, you're looking at it, and it definitely appears to be burnt. Joshua, when you leap up on there, you get your hand in there and you hoist yourself up. You can tell right away that the wood is warm, much warmer than it should be at this time of night. Feels like, yeah, this is warm. This is not a right temperature for this wood. Porter, are you going to get up on the ledge?
Yeah, he's going to have to go inside. Yeah, he'll climb himself up.
You climb up. You also notice that as well, Porter, that it is warm as you get up there. Joshua, you come up to the side of the window, and did you want to peek in through there? Is that what you're going to try and do?
Yeah, now that I've felt the heat too, one thing I'm going to look for as I'm looking through the window, I'm going to make sure the window's there to see if it's busted out.
It is there.
Okay, so I'll peek in and see if I can see any glows coming from inside. Make
me a notice roll.
Woot!
You look through and you happen to catch enough of the moonlight as you look through. Everything it's inside here, and this looks like it may be kind of a passenger waiting area sort of thing, looks fairly normal, and everything seems fairly put together. Porter, make me a hearing-based notice roll while you're kind of standing there. 4. All right, so Porter, when you get up on the platform, you're kind of like right in dead center, and so there's essentially like a small building onto your right and another building similar size onto your left, and then there's a central passageway that runs in between them to the other side of this depot station sort of thing. And you're standing kind of almost in the middle, so you're like looking down that passageway. First of all, you see a flash of light goes off in the distance, further away from where you're all at, and your eyes instinctively go there, and where you're standing you can't see the full thing, but you see another building outline shape behind this light, and you can tell that it's maybe about 200 yards away from where you're at, probably the town. So it kind of glows up and then it glows down. What it sounds like on the other side of this passageway, it's almost like you hear, well, it's not almost, you do hear a sound that sounds something like if someone was like taking a torch and like moving it back and forth, so it's got this kind of noise to it. It almost sounds like it's combined with a buzz of some sort, but it happens very quickly, and you can't place it beyond the fact that it's beyond this passageway.
All right, I want to kind of keep the sight of the building that the flash highlighted in my head, so that I can maybe pick it out later. So I know I need to go past that point to get to where it was. Joshua.
What?
It's further in.
What's further in?
I saw it. The glow. The big thing.
All right.
It's further in.
You hear from the shadow off to your left, Porter. And I saw it too.
You have to move deeper into town?
That's what you're thinking, Porter.
Are we going to check it out? Or are we going to just let the train go by?
We need to make sure it's going to be safe for the train. Something messed up this depot. I would hate for it to hit a train with people on it.
Porter, are you moving at all from where you're standing?
No, I've been standing still.
Okay.
This whole time.
Hey, Porter. Let's hope it's not Red Cloaks.
Yeah, I guess I'll walk between the two buildings. I'm assuming they're on either side of me, judging by where their voices were.
Correct.
Alright, I'll walk between the two buildings and head in that direct towards, so I can get to the road and then wait for them and then continue into the town.
Porter, as you walk in between and you're looking side to side as you're going, you pass by the ticket window on your left-hand side, pass by the ticket window, and you look in, and the lantern glow extends in just enough that you can see past the ticket window, and there's a room behind there with the door open, and there appears to be a cot of some sort that you can see in the doorway, and on that cot you see a pair of boots. That's about all you glance, and that kind of makes you stop where you're at. You can see the bottom of the boots, and the boots go up, but the door frame and the angle you're at kind of cuts off the top of the boots, so you don't know if there's anything in those boots, but they're laying in a way which suggests that there might be something inside those boots.
Drawing a gun, and I'm going to... Alright, so can I like lean in the window to see if I can see more in the ticketing window, or?
Absolutely. Make me a notice check. That is a good roll.
That's a good roll.
That is a success with a raise. So you're passing by, and you turn, and your eyes catch these boots. You stop, and it's almost like you're pulled in, and you walk right up to the ticket window, and you hold the lantern up right up against the bars on the ticket window, and you're adjusting to try and see what you can see, and you do indeed see the boots. And as you angle yourself slightly to the side, you can see that there are legs in these boots. But one thing that jumps out at you as the light shines in here is that everything inside this ticket booth and going into the room behind it, and this is not a large ticket booth area, but everything is black, and the light, as in the same kind of burnt wood look, but some areas, particularly around the door frame, they appear to be the type of burnt that you normally see with burnt wood actually inside a fire. So it has that little squared pattern of all those, the black and charcoal kind of things. And on the floor inside the ticket booth is a large amount of ash that appears to be there from burnt paper.
And the legs themselves?
You can't tell if it is pants, or if it's black pants, or if it's burnt legs. As you're standing there trying to determine exactly that fact, you hear what sounds above you. You hear this kind of mutated buzzing / moaning sound. It happens above you, very faint, and then it quickly fades away.
Well, I'm looking up. Are you kidding? Anything up there?
So you look up, and you see nothing but the night sky.
Okay. Joshua?
Yeah.
There's a body in here. Maybe. Could be someone sleeping, but I don't think they're sleeping.
Joshua walks over, steps up.
Okay. You're going to have to go in. Yeah, as you come up, then Barnes comes around to the door. What's going on?
I can see legs and boots in there.
So I'll head in and kick the boots.
Well, this is a bit eerie. I wonder who or what is in those boots. Not to mention the rest of the town. I'm guessing we'll find out in our next issue, A Hot Time. The part of Porter Holt is played by Brad Smith. Joshua Young is played by Brent Rich, and your intrepid marshal is played by Chris Hussey. This game references the Savage Worlds game system available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at PEGINC.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings, and unique characters, locations, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Thanks also to Fear the Boot. Support their Patreon at patreon.com/feartheboot. Intro music by Beelzebub Jones. Time to Tell, or Porter's Confessional theme by Gunslinger Andy. Contact information for the cast, as well as music links, can be found in the notes on our website, youngandholt.com. If you enjoy these issues, please consider dispensing a lovely 5-star review on wherever you do listen from. Please search for Fear the Boot Actual Play. It's kindly appreciated. I'm Ernest Wick for the Tombstone Epitaph. And remember, it's always good to carry your personal kindling, just in case you lose your inner fire.